Dạ đây là đường đi xuống bến tàu. Mình sẽ đi tham quan bến tàu cho quý vị xem. Đây, mình đi cruise nha. Người đi xuống, người đi lên ha. Bây giờ người ta đi rồi, người ta đi lên, mình chưa đi, mình đi xuống nha. Đây. Bên đó có tòa tháp cao nhọn rồi. Ở phía trước mình là có cầu tháp đâu nha. Ngày xưa cái nơi này thời vua Henry thứ 8 nha quý vị. Nghe kể lại rằng là có một hoàng hậu đã bị chặt đầu nha. Tại nơi này thỉnh thoảng ban đêm người ta thấy hoàng hậu ôm cái đầu đi tới đi lui cái khu này nha. Đây, bây giờ là trở thành nhà tù rồi nha. Và nhà tù này có lâu đời nghe quý vị. Có từ năm 1110 á, trở thành nhà tù từ năm 1110. Nghe là nhà tù này có ma đó. Từ tin đồn của người dân truyền lại nha. Không biết có ai thấy chưa nha, chắc có thấy người ta mới nói nha. Hoàng hậu bị oan ức quá, bị chặt đầu. Cho nên thỉnh thoảng tối là thấy ôm cái đầu đi tới đi lui ở đây. Đây. Cái thành này mà trên 1000 năm tuổi rồi. Đây, lịch sử ở đây. Lại mình cho quý vị coi lịch sử ở đây ha. Thời hỏa hoạn nữa nè, có thể chiến tranh có hỏa hoạn nữa nha. Hỏa hoạn thời năm nào? Nói quý vị, mình chuẩn bị, mình dự định đi vô trong đó để quay ở trong đó cho quý vị xem. Nhưng mà họ nói là phải mua vé thì không thành vấn đề, nhưng mà họ không có cho mình mang camera theo. Cho nên vô đó mà không có camera theo thì đâu có quay được cho quý vị xem đâu. Cho nên mình đi tiếp là điểm kế tiếp. Đây là mình ở dưới chân cầu, mình quay lên cho quý vị xem được. Hôm qua là mình ở bên hướng bên đó vào giấc chiều. Bây giờ bữa nay là giấc sáng. Mình ở đây mình quay lại cho quý vị xem. Ok, bây giờ mình chuẩn bị bây giờ mình đi lên tàu để đi tham quan con sông Thames nổi tiếng của Anh Quốc này nha quý vị nha. Đây, chiếc tàu tham quan đây. Nó chạy trên sông này rồi nó chạy đúng điểm quay lại thôi. Đây, bây giờ mình vô tàu rồi. Bắt đây là bên trong của tàu nha quý vị nha. Mùa này thì ít khách du lịch, mùa hè chắc đông hơn. Bây giờ mình đi lên bon tàu, mình sẽ quay được cảnh nhiều hơn nha quý vị. Ở đây có căng tin nhỏ nè, có thể mua nước uống. Đây là trên bon tàu này nha quý vị. Đứng ở dưới này là nhìn thành phố. Cảnh này ở trên bờ mình cũng đã quay rồi nha. Bây giờ xuống đây tàu chạy mình sẽ quay thêm cho quý vị xem. Đây tàu lượt vọng đó nha quý vị. Uber boat nha, Uber boat. Cái Uber Kha ở trên bờ nha, ở đây là Uber boat.
Fantastic day out on board the
Rồi quý vị, bây giờ mình đang ngồi trên con tàu cruise để đi dạo thành phố London, dạo trên sông Thames của London. Và hai bên hông là thành phố nha quý vị. Hai bên hông là thành phố London.
Okay, it doesn't cost a penny, folks. Okay, if you've got a bit of spare time and you're stuck for something to do, go up there. When you get to the top, okay, there's a bar,
còn ở phía sau mình là cái cầu thấp đôi đó nha quý vị.
Okay, you can visit the Shard on the left, about 20 or 30 pounds each. So if you go to the Sky Garden on the right instead, the money you save, you spend at the bar. So that's a bit of free advice from us. Okay, go to the Sky Garden. And the blue glass building on the right, that is home to the National Association of Window Cleaners. We'll see who's listening. It's not really. I don't actually know what that building is, truth be told. We just call it the window cleaning building. And in the gap between the buildings on the right, very shortly, you will see a stone column with a golden top. And this is the monument, Sir Christopher Wren's monument to the Great Fire of London. It is said to resemble a candle that started the Great Fire of London in a bakery on Green Lane in 1666, designed by Sir Christopher Wren. And the bridge here, London Bridge, Tower Bridge behind us, this is London Bridge, we're passing underneath. The name London Bridge carved left and right into the footings. This is the 5th London Bridge to cross the river at this location.
Dưới lòng cầu cái tiếng nó dội, nó vang ra ha, nó vang
around 43. So this present day bridge, this one, it was opened in 1973 by Her late Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II. And as I say, it's the 5th London Bridge to cross the river at this location. The previous one to that one was taken down in the late 1960s, shipped across the Atlantic, and it was reassembled in Lake Havasu City. Now the area on the right, the City of London, very historic area. You can see these years ago, and they're known as mudlarks, okay? Spa and sauna. Now it doesn't look like there's anybody in there today. Sometimes through those windows we can see semi-naked people. And they thought they were being clever, placing it under a bridge. They forgot about the boats going up and down every 10 minutes. Now what they did is they put in one-way glass, see that? And some days are better than others. On the right, you can see this barge on the beach here. It's a garbage. About 70% of all the
giờ này chắc trưa nè quý vị, thấy nước hơi cạn ra.
Right here on the River Thames. Now when the tide starts to rise, these barges, they float. And they are collected by tugs. Okay, powerful boats. They collect London's rubbish and they tow it all the way down the river behind us, down to a place called Essex. So all of London's rubbish, it gets dumped in Essex and then it comes back again on the television. This is Southwark Road Bridge, opened in 1921, built to ease congestion for the old London Bridge. mainly used by professional drivers, lorries, buses and taxis. Now, just here on our left-hand side, or just ahead of us, coming into view, you can see a white building with a timber frame and a thatched roof. William Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. Now, this building, it is an exact replica to the style of playhouse that once stood here in the area of Bankside. And it is a fully working replica. They do reenact all of the old Shakespearean plays inside here in the periodic fashion. So there's no stage lighting, there's no amplification, and the building is open top. So if it rains, well, the actors get wet, and so does the audience. Okay, they do not stop the performance. And this is where we get the famous expression, the show must go on. So it doesn't rain very often in London, so go and see a play of it. Go and see a play for as little as £10 each. £10 for live entertainment in London. Fantastic value for money. This was outlawed for obvious reasons. It was very flammable. So that's the only building that has
Cái cầu đi
permission
bộ nè
to be
nha
built in
quý vị.
natural timber. The Millennium Footbridge opened in the year 2000 by Her Majesty the Queen. And on our right, looking up to the sky, you can see the magnificent dome of St Paul's Cathedral, considered to be Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece. Now, it was completed in 1710. St Paul's was the tallest building here in London, right up until 1962. Before then, it was illegal to build anything taller than St Paul's. Sir Christopher Wren, the famous architect, he dedicated 35 years of his life into building St Paul's, and he is buried in the crypt alongside Lord Nelson and the Duke of Wellington. You can visit St Paul's, and you can actually climb all the way to the top of the dome, to the Golden Gallery. Okay, there's a viewing platform, and the views, they are breathtaking. But so are the 528 steps up to there. Okay, just bear that in mind, there is no lift, but you are rewarded with the view. You climb to the top, and you get an excellent view from the top. Blackfriars Railway Bridge. On top of this bridge is Blackfriars Railway Station. Okay, you can enter the station from either side to the river. Okay, the station's on top of the bridge. You've got solar panels, these slanting panels along the roof. They are solar panels. And what's his name? Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, the latest one. He runs across the roof of that station. You might remember it from the latest Mission Impossible film. And these columns you can see left and right are what were running from the Alexandra Railway Bridge, the very first railway to cross the tidal River Thames. Sadly dismantled, no longer suitable for the modern day trains. Now, Blackfriars Road Bridge opened in 1869 by Queen Victoria. Sometimes this boat, they cannot fit underneath this bridge. Hard to imagine at the moment, there's plenty of clearance. But as the tide rises, we lose clearance, and it is part of our discipline to become captains. We have to learn all the individual arches of 32 bridges along the tidal River Thames throughout London. Okay, so at the moment, plenty of clearance, the tide is still going out, the level is dropping. When the tide rises, we lose clearance. Just slow the boat down slightly here for the men at work on the right. They're building a super sewer for London underneath the river itself. It's going to take about 15 years to complete and cost £5 billion. It is a super sewer called the Thames Tideway Tunnel Project. You see the red brick building on our right that looks like a church? That is Zion College and Library. And that was originally a training ground for the Anglican clergymen in the City of London. Today that building is famous for housing a number of rare and religious books, including Queen Victoria's personal diary, the first ever Oxford Dictionary, and the first ever Bible to be printed in New English on the William Caxton steam press. Building on the right with the dome and the flag, Somerset House, originally a London residence for the Earls and Dukes of Somerset. For nearly 100 years, this building was the Registrar General. Over there was where they kept all the information of births, marriages and deaths for this country. They had the nickname the Hatcham, Matcham and Dispatcham departments, the Registrar General. And you can see the archway there with the figureheads. The River Thames used to flow up underneath that archway into the courtyard of Somerset House. It was only when the embankment was built that it cut off the access, and we've narrowed the river over the years, and that is why we have a funnel effect. When the tide floods into London, it goes very high. Waterloo Bridge, known in London as the Ladies' Bridge, built by a female workforce during the Second World War. The men were fighting on the continent, the land army, as they were known, the ladies. They built Waterloo Bridge. This is the only bridge in London ever to be completed on time and under budget. So well done to the ladies. It's made from Portland stone, a self-cleansing stone harvested from the cliffs of Dorset. And the ladies, they came under enemy fire whilst constructing the bridge as well. So affectionately known as the Ladies' Bridge. Just here on the right, you can see a stone Egyptian obelisk. That column there, Cleopatra's Needle, is London's oldest monument. It was carved in ancient Egypt over 3,500 years ago, which makes it considerably older than London itself. Given to us by a thankful Egyptian government to commemorate Lord Nelson's victory in defeating Napoleon and the French fleet at the Battle of the River Nile. So Cleopatra's Needle on the right, that is London's oldest monument. You've got sphinxes either side there as well. They're actually facing the wrong way round, those sphinxes. Okay, they should be facing outwards, guarding it, instead of inwards, admiring it. Okay, Queen Victoria preferred it this way, and they've stayed like that ever since. But that is incorrect. And on the left, the Royal Festival Hall, the last remaining venue from the Festival of Great Britain, a post-war morale festival for the nation in 1951. Many famous artists have performed in here, including Whitney Houston, Pavarotti, David Bowie, Amy Winehouse, just to name a few. Home to the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra is their London residence, and it's world renowned for its acoustics, the Royal Festival Hall. This is Charing Cross Railway Bridge. Either side of the railway are footbridges, and these were put in place to celebrate the Queen's Golden Jubilee, and that was back in 2002. That would be her 50th year as sovereign. So either side, the Jubilee walkways, Charing Cross Railway Bridge to be passed across. The building on the right behind the trees there, Whitehall Court Mansion, the Gothic-style building, home to the 5-star Royal Horse Guards Parade Hotel. You've got the wartime museums here, Winston Churchill. You can have his wartime offices in this building. You can't visit them, they are open as a museum. Whitehall, the area, is where they have the changing of the Queen's, or the King's Guard, I should say. The King's Guard, every day it's 11:30. On the right-hand side here, you've got a ship. It's a Tattershall Castle. Now this ship is a paddle steamer ferry. It was originally a ferry on the River Humber in the north-east of England. When it first came here to London, it was opened as a gallery of fine art. If you have a look a little bit closer, you'll see it's no longer an art gallery. It's now a floating hub. I have been told it made more money in the first week as a floating hub than it did in an entire year as an art gallery, which gives you an indication to the sort of artists we are here in London. The London Eye on our left-hand side, the Millennium Wheel, opened in the year 2000 to celebrate the millennium, are meant to be a temporary attraction, originally supposed to last only 5 years. 24 years later, and it is still spinning. Now, if you were to count the glass pods around the outside of the London Eye, you would count 32 of those, and each one represents one of the 32 boroughs that make up Greater London. Now, from the top of the London Eye, on a lovely clear day like today, you can see all 32 boroughs, and that is why it's called the London Eye. It's a distance of around 25 miles in all directions. Give an example, that's as far west ahead of us as Windsor Castle, and and as far east behind us as Dartford Bridge. The London Eye, a very popular place for marriage proposals. Proposing to their loved ones or their loved one. Now, personally, I wouldn't recommend marriage. In fact, I believe it is the second most popular planet for marriage proposals. That is second only to this boat. This is number one. It's actually the Eiffel Tower in Paris. That's the most romantic place to propose to your loved ones. So if anyone is planning on proposing on the number line, just think well about this. Make sure they are going to say yes, because it spins very slowly. Actually, it takes half an hour to complete a rotation. So of course, very romantic. When you get to the top and they say no, that'll be a very long 15 minutes. Back down the side. You can hear the bells now. What you can hear is the Westminster chimes. And then shortly after, we will hear Big Ben. And that's it, 1 o'clock.
Đây là cái tấm đồng hồ bốn mặt Big Ben đó nha quý vị.
For midday, but only 1 o'clock at the moment. So Big Ben strikes the hour, and not the hour only. It is the nickname for the 13.5-ton bell inside the tower, and Big Ben the bell, it will strike on the hour alone. What we heard before was the Westminster chimes, and they are the quarter bells. They will divide the hour into 4. Every 15 minutes we hear the Westminster chimes. So you can't see Big Ben, folks, okay, but you can hear it. What you're looking at is the Westminster Clock Tower, or the Elizabeth Tower. It was renamed in 2012 to celebrate the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, and that would have been her 60th year as sovereign. The tower at the far end flying the Union flag.
Tới đây là thời điểm cuối rồi nha. Bắt đầu mình lên đi chạm kế tiếp nữa. Đi chỗ tham quan kế tiếp.
That is the St. Stephen's Tower, and that stands above the St. Stephen's Chapel within the Palace of Westminster. So it is a royal palace, and it belongs to the King. However, he allows Parliament to use it every year. Okay, so it is the new Palace of Westminster, also known as the Houses of Parliament. Ladies and gents, we're going to make our way into Westminster Pier now. Once you've taken your photos, as you can see, it's a little bit windy. So in the interest of safety, you can return to your seats. Just remain seated until the boat is secured alongside the pier. Thank you very much for your cooperation. If you're leaving us here at Westminster, please make sure you've got your bags, cameras, shopping, souvenirs, and all your children. I was actually left here at the age of 4. Guess what? I'm still nobody came to get me, but please remember your kids. Lastly, folks, just to mention about the commentary. As I mentioned earlier, we're not official tour guides, it is just us, your crew. So we do the commentaries on a voluntary basis. If you have understood and enjoyed the commentary, if it's made your journey a bit more interesting and hopefully entertaining, if you would like to show a token of appreciation for my efforts as a guide, then you are invited to do so upon leaving the vessel. An old tradition, I will be standing by the exit and I will be holding our captain's bucket. If you've understood, enjoyed the commentary, or maybe even learned something, feel free to throw anything you like into that tip bucket as you leave the boat. Whatever you think the commentary was worth, ladies and gents. Whatever the outcome, thank you very much for your kind attention once again. And hopefully we'll see you again. My name's Dave, and enjoy the sunshine. Have a lovely day. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you. Rồi, tàu cập bến rồi mình sẽ đi lên trạm, đi lên chỗ tham quan kế tiếp nha quý vị nha. Bây giờ mình coi ra chỗ nào gần nữa thì mình đến để quay phim cho quý vị xem. Còn đây là nhà chính quyền Westminster này nha quý vị. Đây là tháp Big Ben, đồng hồ 4 mặt nổi tiếng của London. Và nơi đây là chỗ bến cảng đi lên đi xuống để đi tham quan trên sông Thames. Rồi bây giờ mình đến cái chỗ mà những người gác canh của hoàng gia Anh thay phiên với nhau á quý vị. Giờ mình đưa lại gần đó mình xem coi họ chuẩn bị thay ca rồi kìa. Hên lắm á, được xem là may mắn nha, tại đi đúng ngày. Đại khái là ngày duyệt binh là vậy nha quý vị nha.